What I'm about to do is something I've been dreaming of doing for the last 2.5 years. But the beginning of my journey goes back way further than that. In 2010, I had just finished a manuscript that was City of the Falling Sky, and I remember the sheer excitement of taking my very first query letter to the post office and sending it off, as if I was sending a dream into the universe. I waited patiently for that first reply from that first agent I queried, and when a letter arrived from the agency, my heart was pounding. But when I opened it, it was a rejection. I had told myself not to be upset if I got rejected, but I couldn't help it. I was crushed. I went on to submit to a few more agents, hoping that at least one of them would fall in love with it, but they all came back as rejections too. A whole year later, I had queried every eligible agent I could find, and every single one of them had rejected me. That's when I decided to go the self-publishing route. It was either that or City of the Falling Sky would be confined to obscurity on my computer forever. 4 years later, City of the Falling Sky and its sequel The Trinity Awakening were both doing pretty well for themselves on Amazon, though nothing close to what they could have been doing with a publisher and a marketing team behind them. So I decided to see if there were any new agents out there to submit to. There were a couple, so I submitted to those, and lo and behold, one of them actually signed me up.
This is it, guys. The moment I've been waiting for 6 years. I have just received an offer of representation from an agent. Honestly, guys, you don't know how excited I am right now. This is absolutely amazing. I can't actually believe that this day has finally come after all this time. I'm speechless. I am absolutely gobsmacked. This is actually happening right now. Thursday, the 14th of May 2015 is the day that Joseph Evans got a literary agent. To me, this is just like better than winning the lottery, honestly.
I was over the moon. I thought, this is it. I'm going to get published. My agent and I worked on edits for almost a year, and then in spring 2016, she sent it out to publishers. I did not expect what happened next. We were rejected by every single one of them. My agent told me that she would still continue to be my agent if I wanted to begin work on a new book, but pretty much the secretary sequence was done. It felt like the ground had disappeared beneath me. I had poured my heart and my soul into those books, and it was pretty much the final nail in the coffin for them getting any exposure beyond my own zero-budget social media efforts. I wanted to complain. I wanted to blame everything other than my own failure on this dead end, but I made the most important decision of my life in that moment. I chose not to complain. Why? Because it's easier to complain. Instead, I accepted that if I ever wanted to get published traditionally, it was going to have to be with a different book. So I got to work. My first attempt at something new was a standalone psychological thriller, but my heart just wasn't in it, and it fell flat. Then an idea came to me in the early hours of one morning of December 2017, and I began planning out the story that would become Overworld. My excitement was back, but unfortunately my agent didn't think it was a good fit for her, and it was time for us to part ways, leaving me agentless once again. I did not let it deter me.
Morning, guys. It is Monday today. I've gotten up earlier than I usually do because I am about to start writing my brand new novel, Overworld. So I've already written 13,500 words of kind of like notes and snippets and stuff of like when I've had an idea for a scene or something like that, but I haven't actually started writing the thing from the beginning. And that is what I'm going to be doing right now, starting with 1,000 words every single morning. So without further ado, I am going to get writing.
2.5 years of fervent writing later, Overworld is finished, and I am about to press send on its very first query letter. Will this button press change my life? Will this be the press that lands me a new agent and the traditional publishing deal I've been dreaming of all this time? There's only one way to find out. Wish me luck.